You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Joining us, as he's going to do every single Tuesday night now, is Nick Pagliochini. We're going to find out what's up, with Nick Pagliochini. Not what's up with Nick. Like, what's wrong with him? No, we're saying.
I mean, let's be real, though. We do kind of cover both sides. We do all sides of it, but good to be back.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Good to be seen. And the thing that I was going to talk about, and you've kind of touched on it, but the thing is, it is Valentine's Day this week. We also have Singles Awareness Day, which started in 2001.
There's a Singles Awareness Day?
Yeah, so here's the funniest thing. I even did like a little bit of my like ChatGPT deep dive to find out. So Singles Awareness Day originated in 2001 when a high school student named Dustin Barnes, along with his friends, decided to create a day to celebrate being single as a protest against Valentine's Day, choosing February 15th as the date to highlight their single status, and then often selling discounted Valentine's, or like going and getting all the discounted Valentine's candy and everything else and using those as part of the celebration for it. So anyway, and that's also Galentine's Day.
Okay, explain Galentine's Day then.
Galentine's Day would pretty much be the same, but specifically for ladies.
Okay.
So for you to get together with your female friends, or, you know, however you identify.
That sounds like a sex party.
I mean, it could be, because I have plenty of friends who would be happy to put together a Tupperware party that's very much down that line for you. Because I got lots of friends in
air quotes.
Tupperware party. Things that do go, they're top shelf, safe in the dishwasher.
Ooh.
But they're good. Ooh. They're good things. They're good things. They're good things. They might be called marital aids.
Or enhancements.
Additions too. But anyway, so it's a busy weekend. It's a busy week this week. It's a busy weekend because you've got that. And also it's a holiday weekend because of President's Day.
That's true.
So, for me, I've got some things, you know, that I like to keep it a little bit off the wall and be a little bit different. So, one of the things that's really bizarre in all of my deep dives of things that are fun for you to do during the week or for Friday is going to be, Blind Date Live. So this is literally put on by the Upright Citizens Brigade in downtown LA. And it is going to be where you are watching a blind date happen in front of you. So you actually get to be a fly on the wall. How many times do you want to be a fly on the wall when you're sitting at a date?
Okay, and the daters know that they're being watched?
The daters know, but here's the problem. Here's the setup, as I understand it. And it's a bunch of comedians. I mean, if you're familiar with Upright Citizens Brigade, it's kind of like the Groundlings. It's a lot of improv. But what is really entertaining about this is there will be 4 daters in the audience that do not know they are the contestants on the show.
Is it like Price is Right? Come on down!
Relatively speaking, kind of think back to, the dating game.
Yeah.
But they're going to be brought up on stage. So they're being brought to the venue with friends under false pretenses.
Oh.
And then they're going to go up on stage to go on a blind date with the other 4 contestants kind of thing. And you're going to watch it unfold. Now, if you want to go see it, there are tickets available. You can get them at the link in bio at Nick Pagliochini. This week I'm Nick. But you can also stream it, which I think is even more entertaining.
This is interesting.
So if
I'm interested.
I was going to say, so if you and La Mujer don't have plans on Friday, this might be really fun for $10. So it may not be free 99, but it's pretty darn close.
What time is it? I work on Fridays, you know?
Oh, I know that, but that's what I'm saying. You can do that, but you can stream it here.
Okay.
That was what I was going to say. So if you get it $10 in advance, $15 at the door, all the information is at ucbcomedy.com. So, uprightcitizensbrigade.com, or you can check out again the link in bio. But I like it. It's something different. It's something that if you're single, if you're a couple, if you're a voyeur, if you're an exhibitionist, if you're all the things, it's something that's there for you. So that's different and unique to check out. But if you're looking for something a little bit more permanent, whether you are single or dating or whatever, how about getting a new tattoo? Because you and I both have tattoos, quite a few.
I have a tattoo and a fraternity brand.
Right. And I've got Pinup Girl, which is my grandma, Scorpio, and a treble clef with a water sign.
I did both in my 20s, and I was pretty safe as far as imagining who I would be in my 50s. I said, yeah, both of these will still apply.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would get now.
Well, it's funny and I think what you just described there is what I always encourage people, because people see the tattoos, and I, like you, got them in my 20s. And it's always, you have the people that go get their, hey, I don't want to be no shaming. But,
I'll say, the tramp stamp?
Tramp stamp, yes.
How did I know?
Exactly. But the point is, you and I have stories behind ours.
Yes.
And if you're going to go get something permanent on you, that is something that I highly encourage that you get a story. And so this is a great opportunity. So if you're ever familiar with Friday the 13th, that predominantly in tattoo parlors around the country and around the world is when they do flash sales, meaning that for like $50. So on Friday the 13th, all around the world, you're able to go into most tattoo parlors and just walk in off the street and they'll give you a flash sheet. And on that sheet will be a selection of, 15 to 20 tattoos. You can pick something from that for $50 right there. No appointment needed. And you can immediately go in. And it's a lot of what people do for a first tattoo or for that first story, that first experience. So
yeah, I was a wild child in my 20s.
Oh, I get it.
I don't know if I would now.
I'm 43 and my skin elasticity alone makes me question that.
Well, and also I got both of my on my bicep, which would change the least most likely over the course of 40 years or something.
And I did the same thing because I did both. They're all on my lower torso because at the time I was working at Disney and I had planned on being a career Disney person. And at that point in time, Disney did not allow you to have visible tattoos. Oh. So that was why I planned I was going to be like that guy that was in the military who had all the tattoos all hidden under my clothes. So that was kind of how that played out. But this year for Valentine's Day, there are a lot of tattoo parlors around the Southland that are actually going to be doing, because Valentine's Day is on Friday, the 14th, they're going to be treating the same concept of that Friday the 13th that it usually is. But I've even found a couple of things where you can go in and 2 for the price of 1, $100 to get 2 tattoos, which is not 2 for the price of 1. That's $50 each. But anyway, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all sorts of tattoo parlors across the Southland all have availability for that. So I think it's fun. I think it's a different thing. It's definitely a unique thing. Now, again, we've talked about this. Make sure you think about what you're doing.
Think it through.
And always make sure that you plan, because this is, we both have friends, I guarantee this, who have names or things that they should never have done.
Yes.
So go iconography if you're going to do something like that.
Stefan, do you have a tattoo? Or if not, have you ever considered?
I do not, but I did consider getting one. It was only because all my cousins got their last name. Well, it's our last name put on their ankle. I was like, that'd be kind of cool, but I never
not going to change, presumably.
Yeah. So, that's the only one I considered. Other than that, not really.
Mark, did you ever consider getting like a tramp stamp?
Nothing above the coin slot. But Stefan, were you concerned that you were all going to forget your last name? What's the issue there? I don't understand this.
No, they just did it. They did it on their own. I was like, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll do it too. But then I was like,
I think people the age of Mo and me, when we were kids, it wasn't a lot of people who had tattoos.
No.
And you ran the risk of getting your ass kicked by just asking somebody what their tattoo was, because it was usually somebody who was either a vet or a biker or a prisoner, and they earned those tattoos. It wasn't just like a sorority girl going in and getting some on her ankle. There was a story behind every tattoo.
And we came along where tattoos, especially in the African American community, were frowned upon. You didn't see tattoos were not looked upon favorably, I would say, in the 1970s, along the lines of what Mark was saying. Yeah, you probably were in a biker gang or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like since I'm not like a combat veteran,
or a con,
I don't deserve one. But on the other hand, tattoos of both of my late kitties on each bicep. That has some appeal.
No, that's and I understand that emotionally, and you may be trying to be funny, but
I'm not kidding. Okay. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's something that makes sense. That's something that's not going to change. And along those lines, my mother got her first tattoo at 80.
And what is it?
It's actually an homage to my late father, and it says Big Mo's Girl.
And do we want to know where it is?
It's on her bicep, somewhere around her bicep.
Because I've seen it on 4th of July.
That's right. I've
seen because I know your mom. Like I was gonna say, like I've seen it. So, and I have to say that's impressive. I'm all mama, with her fireball and her and her tattoos.
Look, she and I would talk before we go to break. She and I would talk, and we would have adult conversations. Now,
sure,
she will tell me about relatives who passed on. She would tell me stories that would have been considered very embarrassing, 10, 20 years ago. And you learn more about your family that way. And then the stories that she tells about them, I learn more about her. And I've learned that I don't want to learn everything about my mother.
No. And I do not. No, and I think that's the thing that we just, that's something that I've been tapped to with, losing my father, it's that oral history component.
Correct.
And making sure that you get those stories, because even as time has progressed, the stories change ever so slightly, or they become more embellished, or something gets really unusual. And there's a couple of stories that I'll tell you off the air that are like that. So,
well, I'll tell you some. I won't give the names, but
sure.
I think I took her. Oh, that's right. I took her out for her birthday.
Okay.
So we were just talking, and she was telling me, "Did you know so and so was gay?" No. and you find out like 5-6 family members are either gay, or I'll say multisexual.
Right.
Because there were no labels back then.
No, of course.
You know, you just learn more about your family, and then you realize that you have a very limited view of them in your family as you grow up.
No, you're right.
But if you learn more about your family members, you probably would have a greater appreciation of people in general.
I agree. I think and right now, that would be amazing.
Wouldn't it?
It would be.
It's later with Mo Kelly. Nick Pagliochini joins me in studio. KFI AM 640 live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Nick Pagliochini. Last call when Nick is on to tell you all what to do. Nick Pagliochini. Last call when Nick is on with $3.99 for you. Nick Pagliochini. Last call when Nick is on, he'll tell us all what we're in this weekend. Last call when Nick is on, this weekend is up to you.
KFI AM 640. It's Mo Kelly and Nick Pagliochini. As we continue, what's up with Nick? Last segment, we were talking about tattoos, where we have them, why we got them, whether we would get others in the future.
Exactly. And if you want to get them this weekend for Valentine's Day, because there's so many opportunities for you, starting on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it's very funny because Valentine's Day is obviously a very commercialized holiday. And so it's a very much Hallmark holiday, if you will, or American greeting card holiday. But you've got Valentine's Day, which is the 13th of February. You have Valentine's Day, which is the 14th. And then you have Singles Awareness Day or Galentine's Day on the 15th. So you've got all of that stuff. Plus then here we are. It's all butted up against President's Day weekend. So you want to find a place to either show off your tattoo, new or old. How about something a little bit darker in downtown LA? How about something with cumbia? And I know you love music, but Gothy Cumbia is back, and it is a traveling show that goes all around the country. Now it is 21 and over, but it is Friday, and it is going to be at the El Rey in downtown, the Regent Theater in downtown LA. It's been at the El Rey previously, but this year it is at the Regent Theater, and it is incredible. If you have attended any of the events before, and it's going to be a really interesting, because it's like cumbia music and you've got all sorts of other things, but then you also have like dance and electronica. They've got many different rooms that are there available for you. So trying to find something that's available for everybody, I guess is what you're saying. Plus, we're in a world, and we've talked about this so many times with This Weekend with Nick or anything else. Halloween is a year-round thing. Halloween, horror, haunt are all very, very popular venues. And so when you've got this like gothy crossover from when we were kids, and gothic was a very specific thing.
Very, very specific.
Like very specific. And now those lines of dark, black ink have bled into so many areas, to the point that you see, you've got Sanrio characters, which are the most adorable. That's Hello Kitty and Kuropi. But you've got Kuromi, which is literally a character born on Halloween that is like the darkness. You've got death metal little characters within that world. So anyway, Gothy Cumbia is something that you can check out. Also, there are plenty of burlesque shows that are going on, which is always kind of fun. Got some stuff over at Harvell's in Santa Monica, down in Long Beach.
Again, I miss Harvell's. I've been there so long.
Okay, that we can do, and we need to do. So we can do double date or whatever. It's a little challenging with this shift, but you've got Harvell's in Santa Monica. You've got it here down in Long Beach. So
weren't they in Redondo Beach for a while?
They were. They did have a location there. I don't think it's still with us. I don't think it survived past the pandemic like a lot of businesses, but Harvell's, which is near Congregation Ale in Long Beach, I'm a pretty regular there, or have been in the past. So, but anyway, also because it is an extended holiday weekend, it might be time for you to, there was one more thing I want to talk about. This one is kind of interesting. It came up on my radar. There's such a focus on health. Obviously, we just came out of January, And so, New Year's resolutions have probably gone out the window by now. We're in February, but there is a place called, I'm guessing it's Live or Live West Hollywood, and it is also going to be opening a new location in downtown LA somewhere here in the near future. But you can go for a couples ice chill. So where they have the cryo chambers that a lot of athletes, professional athletes do for sports recovery, you can go with your significant other and you can go in the chamber together. Now, I don't think you're going to be getting, fresh or friendly in the chamber together.
Not enough room, I don't think.
No, surprisingly roomy. But
really?
But really, when you're talking, sub-zero temperatures,
shrinkage.
I mean, yeah. And also, any moisture is going to be stickage. So, you're going to be out of A Christmas Story, with the tongue on the light pole or the flagpole.
Stuck.
You're stuck. So you'll really be stuck on your significant other. So anyway, totally random thing. I love it when people take a holiday that is all about one thing and then just completely throw it on its ear and advertise it. So, LIVWHO or WEHO, Live WeHo. Good job. But you can check them out on Instagram. And then what I was going to say, because it is a holiday weekend, what am I doing? I'm going snowboarding. So,
Big Bear?
No, going to Mammoth. So, I usually go 3 times a year. Obviously, not having a job, slightly cost prohibitive.
You're going to have all sorts of snow this weekend because of the rains.
No, that's exactly. So that's what I'm going to say. So even though I'm going to Mammoth, which is not close, they've still got so much there at the resort that'll be going. They're expecting more snow to be dumped on Thursday and Friday. Also, here in our local mountains, you'll be able to go to Mountain High in Wrightwood. You can also go to Snow Summit and Bear Mountain if you're going to go over to Big Bear. There's plenty of snow if you're not looking for actual specific snow sports. You can do Lake Arrowhead, Blue Jay. There's so much to do. And this is one of those opportunities that we always celebrate here in Southern California because you've got the beach, you've got the mountains, you've got everything in between. And so this is, it's beautiful, but again, with the rain and the wet weather, there we go.
The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plane.
But yeah, so that's it. So that's where I'll be headed off actually Thursday and I'll be back on Monday. So it'll be nice to be back. I haven't been back in Mammoth since last year. So
I don't think I've been to Mammoth since I was a kid.
It's great. And I love it because it's great year round. So they have mountain biking with the lake there. I mean, not saying I'm highly encouraging you check out the things that are closer to home. Just go to the San Bernardino Mountains, go out to Lake Arrowhead, go out to Big Bear, go to Wrightwood. That's a much easier thing. In fact, that's what we usually do during the week. So we'll go snowboarding during the week because it's a quick and easy run up to the local mountains. And then these longer holiday weekends, we'll be able to go out for Mammoth and get in some really solid runs.
Got a question.
And
we'll just dump this if this is too much of your business.
Oh, no.
But you have an electric vehicle.
I do.
Does going to Mammoth impact your vehicle in any way to the best of your knowledge?
No, surprisingly not. So when I first started going to Mammoth, I had a Toyota RAV4, just a regular, gasoline powered vehicle. And the last 3 seasons, were we 2025? Yeah. So last 3 seasons, I've had a Volkswagen ID4. And the only challenge that I have encountered is sometimes finding a place to charge. Mm-hmm. But surprisingly, even with all the communication around EVs and lower performance in the cold temperatures, we've never had a problem. And it's funny because now my sister and brother-in-law have jumped on board and they also have EVs. But they've up to this point also always used a gasoline vehicle. And we always get better gas mileage and everything else going up into it and have had very few issues at all. So surprisingly, plus our car is all-wheel drive, which makes it even easier because I don't have to worry about chains or anything.
I was wondering also, so you don't use chains.
No. Sometimes if it gets really bad, we can get those socks, which I think is hilarious. But other than that, no, it's great. So there are other things. I'm looking forward to other EVs for my, future life. Volkswagen is not been my favorite, but it's never failed me. It hasn't steered me wrong. Now, I hope that I'm not going to talk to you next Tuesday and have a new story to share.
Completely different story.
It could be a new story because I'll obviously be back and I'll be fresh back from Mammoth to be able to talk about all that.
Yeah, please take a lot of pictures and videos.
I will. And as you always, you can follow me on social media, Nick Pagliochini, and this week I'm with Nick to find all of that. Plus, I'll be checking out some food spots, especially check out 15 Minute Foodie on Instagram. Because surprisingly, over the last few years, up in Mammoth, they really have increased their foodie scene, I guess you would say.
More options?
Many more options in food, including a few celebrity chefs from Top Chef fame from Bravo. So I know it's wild.
You got to take me sometime.
I'll take you.
All right.
I'd love to take the show. That's what we got to figure out.
That's not an impossibility.
I think that'd be really great.
I think Neil tried to broadcast one time up there. It was hit and miss.
Which I'm not surprised. And I know that I've called in when we were doing on Fridays.
That's right.
From Mammoth, and it wasn't perfect. But I'm pretty sure things have grown and changed, and I think we can figure it out. So if not this season, later with Mo Kelly, coming to you live from Mammoth, Juneau Lake, or anything else up there.
I like it. Let's strive to get there. It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
But you can tell how the news influences how outlets will do their investigative reporting. I think with the controversies, plural, surrounding P. Diddy, for example, and other similar controversies, people have now expressed a desire to know more about sex parties. We hear about all the things which supposedly go on in Hollywood. And I'm here to let you know the stories are real. They're 100% real. But when you have what I think a respectable outlet like The Atlantic delving into the pervasiveness of sex parties, you have to think like, something's changed. Something's different. And I have long believed, let me not tell that lie. I've long known that the reality of a sex party is not as sexy as the idea. There's certain things you don't want to see. There's certain things you don't want to smell. And you can't undo certain sensory experiences. It's not like Eyes Wide Shut, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. It's nothing like that. But there are some groups, and Twala will tell you about the time he got invited to a sex party sometime, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I did.
We heard about Sanctum. That was a group which was in the news a lot. And that was a members-only sex club in Beverly Hills inspired by the movie Eyes Wide Shut, as a matter of fact. Sanctum members, SNCTM, would pay $12,500 or more per year. And that's just for access to masquerade parties, which could be as much as $2,000 a ticket, which means $12,500 just means you'll get the invitation. Mm-hmm. The $2,000 is you get to go to the specific event. First, your member's fee, $12.5. Okay, that's just so they'll send you the email. Hey, we got a party coming up. It's on the 3rd. It's at Diddy's house. Okay?
Click here to purchase your tickets.
Right.
Yes.
Then you have to pay the $2,000 for them to tell you the exact location.
Wait, how does this get by on Eventbrite or on Evite?
Oh, it ain't on Eventbrite.
I'm well aware, but
it's not on Evite.
When you say click here, and you're not wrong.
It is.
You're not wrong at all. But that's all I'm thinking is that's exactly it.
If you get an invitation to a party, it is because you are down with someone who specifically included you into a group. When I was invited, it was because I was good friends with the hostess of the events. Okay. And she said, hey, I would love it if you would come and check out one of my parties. Okay. COME, and check out one of my parties. Okay. And
Thank you for the clarification.
I got a very specific invite that was do not share, and it was interesting because the email, it expired like within the day. Like I said, okay, cool, I got it, and then the next year I tried to go back and it was like all the links were dead. But once I clicked on it, it sent me to a thing. I had to get her code to go in. Yeah, and there were rules.
Right,
there are rules.
All sorts of rules.
All sorts of rules.
When you can, or how you can approach a couple or a group, how you can ask to be tagged in. I'm being serious.
No, very serious. Yeah.
If you can join.
And what you have to do, you have to be willing and open to certain things. And her parties where you have to be open to everything. It wasn't just a heterosexual sex party. It was we are all here to have sex. If someone sees you and wants to, then you have to be willing to be down.
And also, you can't show. Don't ask me why I know this. Do not ask me why I know this.
I'm gonna ask you.
You can't just show up as a stag male. You can't say, "Hey, everyone's getting down. Can I get?" No, you have to bring a wine bottle to the party. Put it that way.
Absolutely. They prefer a very fine wine.
Yes,
Very
Yes.
fine wine. Red wine if you can.
and once you see the rule set, what you have to be open to, then the experience of seeing what is happening, it is not eyes wide shut. It is nothing like that.
But now I will say this, and I do know this for a fact. There are certain parties held in the Los Angeles area where the ticket price is high, and the ticket price is so high because they have regular wealthy individuals showing up to be able to peruse and select from various models who are hired to be there. So they do some of these really, really high class parties. They will make sure that there is a cavalcade and a
Parade.
parade of selections, top choice for you to also engage with. So it's not just, you and your neighbors in, the valley.
It's not the key parties that people used to talk about.
No,
Not
no.
in any way, shape, or form.
But part of that membership fee is understanding that if you can't afford the membership, then you obviously don't belong, air quotes. You have no business being there. And they want it as a deterrent, but also some degree of insurance of how discreet you'll be. Because you will come across people that you know by face, recognizable. And if you can't handle, let's say in the Sanctum example, the $12,500 per year plus the $2,000 for the particular event, then obviously you shouldn't be there. You're an unserious person.
I think that to the Atlantic's credit, and why I love this article, What's Up with All These Sex Parties, is because they were looking to peel back the layers on the Diddy party, as if to say, you all are mistaken. Diddy's parties are just street level parties.
Yes.
By comparison, you all think that this was something. You think that he's, oh my God, wag a finger at Diddy. You did wrong. No. The pervasiveness of this in all major cities, New York, it doesn't matter where. If it is a major metropolitan area, these sex clubs have actual chapters.
Mark is from the LA chapter. I should say the Seattle chapter.
Yeah, that's right. You find any of those macaques at those parties? Because I hear you can catch stuff from the macaques.
We all laughed at that, Mark, and you got no credit for it. None.
I'm used to it.
None.
It doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
They've been devalued.
He needs to hand over the gavel.
They're meaningless now.
Was a callback.
I'm bringing my
It's
own.
still
different
funny.
rim shot.
That's the whole point. You've never seen a comedian do a callback of an earlier joke
Yeah,
and
but you
people
don't get
left.
the rim shot for that.
He's
When
openly
did that
hostile to us
happen?
now.
Wow.
Openly
When
hostile.
did that rule?
The
If it's
judge
the
Same exact
past.
joke. That's like
Everybody's a critic.
Stefan has a very high caliber, obviously.
No, he would like to present himself as highfalutin and highbrow. We're talking about sex parties, okay?
I understand.
love Foosh. I love it.
Foosh, in your
Can you let us know all the rules now?
Well, I thought that was pretty obvious.
Foosh is
No,
like,
it wasn't.
You do Mark's world.
I didn't know that callbacks. I love a good callback. I didn't know that callbacks were not on the menu.
they don't qualify.
Tough crowd.
Especially
of
at Mark's
one.
tier of comedy, I would think he would appreciate that.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
of the greatest comedians, in fact, all of the greatest comedians employ callbacks.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. But
They're not funny.
that's like
they do it.
that's like a period on the end of the sentence. Like, oh, okay, cool. You got it.
What are you talking
I
about?
have no idea. He's not making any sense.
Wow. Okay.
Periods are needed in every sentence.
Oh, boy.
Exactly. So this is the way to close out the show.
Yeah, we got to have some quality control, don't we?
Wow.
I am genuinely speechless.
Oh,
And that was an accidental rim shot.
No,
It wasn't even
that was a
intentional.
half.
That was just a rim.
shot.
Was that a rim or a shot?
A rim.
Don't you dare laugh at my joking.
A rim. That's what it was.
I know George Norrie's like, I hate these guys. I hate these guys. I hate these guys.
Justified.
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Coming up in just moments will be Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie, and he joins me now on the show. Good evening, sir.
Hello, Mr. Kelly. We've got a great program for the world tonight. We're going to talk about the economy. Is it going to be good for us for the rest of the year? And then later on, remote viewing on Coast to Coast.
I sure hope the economy is great for the rest of the year, but I'm concerned. Got to be honest, I'm concerned.
Keep your fingers crossed.
All right, then. Fingers crossed.
See you, buddy.
Talk soon. And before we go, we've been using a new segment to close out the show. Right now, it's called The Final Thought. I may change it, but it's just some things that I've been ruminating on and sort of just bouncing around in my head, but with the news of the day. And here's tonight's. Probably by now, you've heard about the chances of a particular asteroid striking Earth within the next decade. Well, it's doubled over the past few weeks, the chances of it hitting Earth. And this is according to NASA astronomers. Doubled, I said. To be fair, it only doubled from 1 to 2%. But if I told you that there was a 2% chance of your next flight ending up in the side of a mountain, you wouldn't like those chances, would you? Kind of same thing. The asteroid, discovered just after Christmas, has been named 2024 YR4. It could possibly strike the planet in December of 2032. And this is according to NASA's Center for Near-Earth Object Studies. And the way we've been going, that too will be defunded by the federal government. We've all likely seen movies like Armageddon, Deep Impact, similar plot lines. Killer asteroid discovered, the world comes together and depends on America to save the day. And in both of those movies, with varying degrees, the day is saved. But this is real life. And potentially, we are only at step one. The killer asteroid. It's out there. It's been identified. That's step one. All that's left is step 2 and step 3, for the world to come together and then America to save the day. But step 2 and 3 would seem to be damn near impossible right about now. We are far closer to Netflix's Don't Look Up, which detailed an America in denial of an asteroid impact. That to me seems more realistic. We don't take measles seriously. We don't take polio or E. coli seriously anymore. We don't take science and scientists seriously anymore. Scientists, we know more than the scientists, than the experts, the elites. The elitists. So given that, what chance is there of us taking an asteroid seriously? Hell, we're still yelling at each other over whether we've actually been to the moon. We're still cussing each other out over whether the Earth is spherical. That's actually like a real debate in someone's minds these days. We, as in the United States of America, have routinely devalued higher education and science and facts. The betting favorite at this point should be the asteroid. And I got to be honest, a large part of me pulling for the asteroid, or at least until we stop acting like an unserious nation. For example, today, a congressman from Georgia introduced a bill to the House of Representatives with a straight face that would give a new name to Greenland. Instead of Greenland, it would be named Red, White, and Blue Land. This asteroid cannot get here fast enough. For KFI AM 640, I'm Mo Kelly.
More informing, more engaging, more stimulating. KFI
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere.